Okay guys, let's get down to brass tacks. So we're going to talk about this red ring I've been talking about for a while. I'm expecting a big move. I am currently in a short. I am at a loss. I will show you how much of a loss I'm at. Again, I'm in a short because I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I do believe we're due for a big crash, and I will break this down why this is the case. If you like this content, leave a like. I would appreciate it. If you do want to get access to all these live charts, access to our Discord, you can sign up. My website is pinned in the first comment description. You'll need to email me through the website to get access to Discord, by the way. So let's break down this chart, and then I will show you my trade, how much of a loss I'm at, and we'll cover a few other charts that make me believe that we are topped out potentially to drop. Now we could push a little higher. That's why I said I'll add to my short. So let's cover this chart really quick. So I've talked about this red ring on this chart. If you notice, when we crossed this red ring, we had a drop down to support, which was the next red ring. But you notice we were in this pattern, right? This is back in 2018. Resistance, support, resistance, support. We broke it and we came down. All right, that was about a 50% drop. We pushed up to the same ring, got caught in a pattern. Support, resistance. We broke the pattern. We dropped down to the next ring. All right, this ring was an anomaly. This was when we had the COVID crash, right? And then all of the free money and stimulus, was pumped into the market and everything pushed up. All right, so again, that was an anomaly, but here you can see we're in a rising wedge. A rising wedge is typically a bearish pattern. Does not mean it cannot break to the upside. If it does, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, but you can see this is our resistance, support. And again, we could push higher. That's why I'll be adding to my short, but notice we just crossed this damn ring. The rings are, they're points to watch for a major pivot. Now, I believe with all the research and everything I've done that we are pretty much topped out, and it will be to the downside. But again, I just want to show you why this chart is so important. My trade. So currently, I am at a loss of, right now, my trade, I'm down $12,000. Some of you are going to say, wrecked. Well, we'll find out. I will tell you this, though, and I'll show you this on some other charts. Price dropped down to what it was, 29,500. I didn't catch the very bottom of it, but I've been hedging. So when price dropped down, my loss was around $8,000. So I hedged at $8,000, a long hedge. So while I was at $8,000 loss at the time, since I was hedging, as price was pushing up, this was getting more into the negative, my long was into the positive. So when I actually got out of my long, I'm actually only down $8,000. Even though this trade will always be at a $12,000 loss at this price. But since I'm hedging longs, I'm actually at less of a loss than this shows. And I will do the same thing. If we get above 32,000, which I do not think is likely, I could hedge long, or I could just cut my loss. Now I do have 35,000 available in my account, so I have the extra money to do long hedges. Again, I'm showing you I'm actually at a loss because I do believe we are going to crash. Now, finding the top for a drop is almost impossible. You've seen these crazy moves. I mean, we saw what happened here. This crazy wick up and crazy wick down. They're just stopping everybody out. They do not want anybody to be in, and they're trying to drill it down. They're trying to drill it into you every time we drop to always buy the dip. Always buy the dip because it's going to push back up. And I do believe that will continue to happen until all of the shorts above are taken out. So we're going to cover that. By the way, if you do want to sign up for BitGet, guys, my link's pinned in the first comment description. If you're in the US, you will need to use a VPN. I use NordVPN, and you'll have to do KYC. I do have another option there for you pinned in the first comment description. That is no VPN, no KYC. Okay, so let's get on to this. Now again, I'm going to show you why I'll be adding to my short above. You can see I already have a trigger to add to my short when we get up to around 31,950. But let's cover a few things, all right? So in Discord, I made a post about, this was the BlackRock ETF. And you could see on June 15th, BlackRock filed for an SEC approval, so-called spot Bitcoin ETF. That happened on June 15th. That was when I said when we approached this ring to go long. What a coincidence. Right when we approached this ring and got a pump, right? That's when they filed for an ETF. And then look what happened here when it was denied. SEC says spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. So they rejected the ETF, and you got this crazy wick down and then push right back up. People say, okay, well, it dropped because of the bad news and the push right back up. This was an excuse to drop it, to take out liquidity. And it's right here in the damn chart. This is right here, liquidity map. Price pushed up back here to take out shorts up around 30. This is about 31,000 something, 31,250 something like that. But notice right here, this is where it dropped. You see all this liquidity down here, down around 29.5. As soon as they took out all of that liquidity, price pushed right back up. It's not about levels, support levels, and patterns. Right now, it's just about exchanges getting those trading fees and taking out longs and shorts. That's what's happening. And again, I'm going to show you why, even if we do drop to 29,000, if we drop first to 29,500 around that area again, I will not close my short, but I will do a long hedge. And if we push up and take out shorts above and we drop down to 29,500, I will not do a long hedge because I expect it to continue down. So I'll show you why I'm saying this, and we'll get further into it. So I want to cover this really quick. I haven't talked about this in a while. The VIX is at its lowest point, and hasn't been this low in a long time. Just want to point out, while yes, we could have some more upside with the markets, this is a volatility index for the S&P. Whenever you can see in blue is the S&P and in white is the VIX, the volatility index. When it's at its lowest point, right? The VIX's lowest point, that's when you get a peak in the markets. The VIX's lowest point, peak in the markets. Right here, you got a peak. And you can see it was at a lower point. The VIX was its lowest point. That was a peak in the market. You see the VIX was topped out. That was a bottom in the market. But right now, you can see the VIX is a very low point, and that could possibly be a peak. So that's one sign. There are a lot of other clues out there. I'm not going to cover all of them. Do your own research, guys. The DXY, I can tell you this. If we get above 103.4 around that area, we're looking at a big move. If we do not, look, if we get rejected right here and start coming down and break this support, then guys, Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. But if we do break up from this, all right, this looks like that we could possibly be breaking up from this. We'll see. If you get above 103, we are going to see the DXY just do a moonshot, and that will be bearish for markets, bearish for Bitcoin. Now, I want to cover this because you need to follow traditional markets. I just want to show you, this is the S&P. It's going back a good ways. And these are just simple fib retracements. And I have this on the weekly. If you'll notice, when we came up, we tested, look, this was the 0.618, right? We dropped, we pushed up, tested 0.618, and we came back down. This was back in 2000. You can see right here, we came down, right? We pushed up, tested the 0.618 repeatedly, and then we dropped. Okay, well, let's look at the next one. And these were the start of bear markets, all right? So we dropped, and we pushed up. We pushed just a bit above the 0.5, didn't quite make it to 0.618, and then we had a drop. And let's go on. So I know that mouse is kind of loud when I'm moving it on the desk. This is another example right here. We dropped, we came down, we pushed up. This time we got above the 0.618. We tested the 0.786 and got rejected. This one right here, we came down, we pushed up, we tested the 0.618 twice. Almost got to it again, and then we dropped. Same thing happened when we had our last correction, right? We topped out, we dropped, we pushed up, we tested the 0.618, we got a little bit above it, and then we dropped. Now, I can tell you we could have a little bit more upside as possible. I'm going to show you the NASDAQ as well. But if we do a fib retracement from this point to this point, all right, yeah, we could push up maybe to 4,534 for the S&P. You know, one way when I create my charts, I match lines. I use fib channels. This is a fib retracement, but it works the same way. So if we bring this up, we match these lines, right here. See, those two white lines are right here. That puts us right at resistance. All right, you can see how well everything matches up. The support level, you get all of the support right here. So I'm just saying it's very possible that this is a bear market rally. And we'll know soon if we push up much higher, then, you know, and that becomes support, then possibly we have some more upside. That means Bitcoin's going higher, and that means I'm going to be screwed on my short. This is the NASDAQ. Currently, you can see, look, we are testing the 0.618 right now. All right, so if we get above that and hold support, hey, maybe we're going higher. If we get rejected here, we have a lot more downside. And keep in mind, it is a handful of stocks that are keeping up the markets right now. Most stocks are only up like 5%. It's these, you know, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia. They're the ones that are keeping the stock market pushed up this high When big money, smart money's already leaving, already getting out. When they start selling and then retail starts selling, that's when everything starts crashing down. So again, what I was saying was it's all about the liquidity. This live stream shows book maps, and you can see right now, right up here, you can see where my cursor is. There's a lot of liquidity up around, what, 31.5K, right? And then you have a lot of liquidity all the way down to 29.5K. So that's what to pay attention to. So if you see a drop, we come all the way down, let's say 29K, with all this liquidity above, I would do a long hedge, or I would just open a long, because they're going to send it back up and take out this damn liquidity up around 31K. If we push up first and take out all of this liquidity around 31.5, and I have my, I'll be adding to my short at 32K, because it's very possible they push up a little higher, take them all out, and then send it back down. If that happens, I will not be hedging, because I believe we have a lot more downside. You can see this light blue, this is a lot of liquidity here. So if they take it all of these shorts above, why not send it all the way down? They're selling at the top, taking their money, and then they could buy in much lower. So again, that's what I'm paying attention to. And let's just go back to so this is big get currently. So let's just look at currently. So yeah, if we push up, I can lose some money. I'm already down to what, $12,000. But just to show you, so I'll be adding to my short around 31,950. So I got a trigger order here. So that will put me at $6,000 at 30x. I typically trade with 30x. So let's just look. I have right here take profit. So if we drop down to, let's say, 22,000, I will make $49,000 on this trade. That's just a 6K. I might add more to it. We'll see. Currently I have $35,000 in here available to hedge long or add to my short. If we drop down to 16,000, I will make $83,000 on this trade. If we're in a bubble and the stock market crashes and we drop down to, let's just say, $10,000, that will be $118,000 profit. That's why I'm in this trade. I'm willing to lose a certain amount of money to be in this trade, because I totally believe that we are topped out for a major drop. Again, if you look at the yield curve, you look at the economy, I mean, there's repos going on like crazy. It's just a lot of stuff going on right now that tells me that we're topped out, and that's why I'm willing to risk a bit to be in this trade. Finding the top is going to be almost impossible, so I'll just keep adding to my short as we push up. That being said, if we do get above a certain point, guys, if we get above, you know, I showed you the liquidity is up around, what, 31.5K. That's why I'm going to add to my short at 22K. If we get above that and hold support, well, then we're going much higher. So 33K is the point to watch. If we hold above 33K, then we're going, I mean, I guess we're in a bull run and I was wrong. But until that happens, I'm going to be adding to my short, because this is a bearish pattern. We're at a ring. Every time we cross this ring, we get a drop, with the exception of this one right here. And again, this was when they started pumping all of that liquidity into the markets and everything pushed up. So as far as support and resistance levels, if you'll notice this chart here, again, I use fib channels. Notice when we came down, we found almost perfect support. And that's what I'm saying. Price drops, I hedge long. Price drops again, I hedge long. That means I'm at less of a loss, even though that loss that I'm currently in will always show the same, but I get more money in my account. But notice we pushed down 29,442. So what I'm saying is, if we drop, again, if we drop first before we pump, I will do a long hedge around 29,713, around that area. That matches with the A1 chart right here. You see right here, 29,500. So 29,500, 29,700 will be a great point to do a long if we have a major drop. If we push up to 31,600, around that area, this matches my BLX chart. If you'll notice right here, and they like to trick you guys, so you can see what happened. We pushed up, right? You notice right here, you see this, this is a VSH RSI plus. Notice we break down below, right? We come down, we get one more push up. Notice they fake you out, it comes back up, tops out, have a drop. Well, it seems like these patterns are repeating, right? Right here. See, we came down, we pushed up, we had a drop, we pushed back up. So I think it's very possible that we could push up, take out all of the shorts above around, again, 31,700, around that area. But it's very possible they push a little higher. What happens is people will be shorting, right? People are short from above. And what they'll do is when price drops, they start adding to their short. And doing that, they're lowering their liquidation price, making it easier to take them out. So again, it's very possible we push up to this point. That's why I'll be adding around 32K. But I just want to show you that it looks like this continues to play out. like we break below this point, right? And then we push back up. So it's very possible, like we haven't broke it yet. So we could break it, we could get a little drop, get a little push up, drop, push up, again to take out, you know, those late shorts and late longs. But I guess what I'm getting at is if we push up, take out all the shorts above, again right here, if we take out all of these shorts first, then I believe the crash will happen. If we come down and take out these longs first, then I believe we're still going to push up to take out these shorts before we have a drop. So I'm making that very clear how I'm going to play this and what I'm paying attention to. But guys, that's pretty much it. Just again, I think based on this chart, we're due for a major move. That major move is going to happen soon, and I do believe the markets are pretty much topped out. Guys, if you do want to sign up, get access to the charts, the website is opticalcrypto.com. That link's pinned in the first comment in the description. I do have tutorials teaching my charting method. If you want to sign up for Bigot or my other link, that link's also pinned in the first comment in the description as well. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.